then tightened the glowing strands around the wriggling appliances. They battered against their restraints, but eventually went still. Carefully carrying the magical net between them, Fran and Bart walked back into the workshop area. Singar held a screwdriver with a glowing tip ready between clawed fingers. She poked it through the net, touching each device in turn. Each time there was a flash of expended energy, and the appliance fell still.
"That should do it," Singar said. "You can let go of the spell."
The strands of the magical net faded. Bart sat at the end of the workbench, watching the coffee maker with suspicion. Fran took out her screwdriver and joined Singar in disassembling the devices. "What do you think?" Fran asked. "Adjust the power level or connect something differently?"
"I think it's time to give up on your dreams for the brilliant breakfast brand and instead focus on something that works."
Singar pulled wires, crystals, and circuit boards from the coffee maker's base. "But it's breakfast, and it's brilliant." Fran waved her arms in the air. "Who wouldn't want that?"
"People who don't want their kitchen to run away?"
"Maybe if we change the control software."
"For that, we'd need Smokey to turn up for work."
"He does turn up for work."
"Not today."
"I could do the programming." Singar raised an eyebrow.
"Isn't that how we got to this point?"
At the far end of the basement, a door opened. The sound of footsteps coming downstairs followed it. A moment later, Gruff-Bar Steelstrike and Elithan Tannerin walked in. Gruff-Bar's beard was full of half-cooked fragments of waffle, and streaks of batter dripped from his leather jacket. Even by dwarf standards, his scowl was impressive. He slammed the twisted remains of a Wi-Fi-enabled smart waffle iron down on the workbench. One last light glowed on its front panel, only to snuff out when Gruff-Bar wrenched a magical crystal from the device's base. "How far did it get this time?" Fran asked. "Too far," Gruff-Bar growled. "And the batter reservoir wouldn't have been a problem if someone hadn't let it get the jump on me." Gruff-Bar scowled at Elithan. The elf seemed completely unperturbed. There was laughter in her eyes as she looked at Gruff-Bar, and Fran knew that she was letting him see her amusement. Elithan was a PR professional and an expert in her work. If anyone saw what she felt, it was because she wanted them to. "I'm sorry. I didn't see it coming," she said with half-hearted sincerity. "It's a good thing you had your axe with you." Gruff-Bar unslung the axe hanging from his shoulder. Its shaft was a shotgun, and batter had gotten into the barrel. "I think you should clean this." He thrust it at Elithan. "Oh, no. I never touch a man's weapon unless I'm sure it's clean." The waffle maker joined the other devices on the workbench, where Singar and Fran stripped them for parts. Their contract to make a containment unit for the FBI, together with the investors they'd found, meant that the business was no longer broke. But they still couldn't afford to let anything go to waste. Every penny counted, which was why they needed to get a new product ready soon. "So we're giving up on breakfast, then?" Bart picked up a marker pen and went to a whiteboard in the corner of the room. "I mean, it was a fun idea, but—" Fran sighed. "You're right. We should move on." Bart crossed the letters BB off a list. They'd crossed off a lot of the list already, and several of the remaining ideas had big red question marks next to them. "Next idea," he said. "The device for teaching sign language." Singar took a box from the corner of the room and opened it on the workbench. Inside was a device with a pair of mannequin hands sticking from the top.
"I'm still proud of this one."
"It's a wonderful idea, but it's not going to work," Elithan said.